I used to sit in my car for 20 minutes before going inside. My kids were inside waiting. My wife was managing everything. And I just sat there. Not because I didn't love them, because I had nothing left to give. I had built 6 different businesses, made money, made it again. But somewhere along the way, I lost myself. This video isn't about balance, it's about the system I designed to actually be present while building something real. By the end, you'll know the exact 3-part framework I use every week. Here's what nobody talks about. You don't actually feel busy, you feel split. Half of you is at work thinking about home, half of you is at home thinking about work. That's why rest doesn't work anymore. That's why weekends don't reset you. Your body slows down, your mind never lands. And the worst part, you can be in the same room with your kids and still feel completely absent. I know this pattern because I lived it as a kid. My dad worked long hours, early mornings, late nights. Most evenings he came home carrying the weight of the day with him. Not angry, not distant, just drained. Sometimes he needed extra time before coming inside. Not to avoid us, but to switch off enough to function. When he was home, he tried, but tired dads don't play much. And here's what I realized years later. Kids don't copy what you say. They copy what you normalize. What I absorbed without realizing it. I didn't learn business growing up. I learned that work costs energy. That providing comes with absence. That adulthood means exhaustion. No one taught me that intentionally. It was absorbed. And without realizing it, I built the same model with better tools and more guilt. But there's a specific moment when everything shifted for me. I'll tell you exactly what happened in a few minutes. First, you need to understand the mistake I kept making. My mistake? Chasing outcomes without alignment. For years, I chased businesses mainly for money. Music, property, restaurants, e-commerce, skincare. Some of it worked on paper. Inside, I was unsettled. When things felt uncertain, I assumed the answer was more effort, more research, more planning, more hours. I mistook intensity for progress. And I paid for that misunderstanding in ways that don't show up on spreadsheets. Here's the cost that never shows up in projections: emotional availability, patience, energy, and presence. You don't lose connection with your kids all at once. You lose it in small moments, not really listening, snapping when you're tired, being physically there but mentally unavailable. By the time you notice, the distance already feels normal. Then life stacked pressure, loss, illness, uncertainty. I didn't rise above it. I went into survival mode, stayed busy, stayed distracted, stayed emotionally guarded. From the outside, I looked functional. Inside, I was just coping. Coping is not the same as living. This is where most dads get stuck. And it's the exact moment I almost gave up on everything. Here's the lie I believed for years. I'll be present once this works. Once the business stabilizes, once the income is consistent, once the stress drops. But presence is not something you unblock later. It's a skill you practice under pressure. If you can't be present now, success won't fix it. It will magnify it. The 5 stages of presence. Presence follows the same pattern as business. And most dads get stuck at stage 3. Stage 1, intentions. I want to be more present. You mean it. You feel the guilt. You promise yourself things will change. Stage 2, friction. This is harder than I expect. Work bleeds into home. Phone keeps pulling you away and stillness feels uncomfortable. Stage 3, the quit point. This just isn't realistic. This is the reason I'm in. I'll make it up later. I saw this happen to someone last month. He'd been trying to create boundaries for 8 weeks. Then one busy week hit and he abandoned the whole system. He said, it's not realistic for my life. But the truth is, he quit right before it would have become automatic. Stage 4, design. I need structure, not willpower. You stop relying on discipline. You start redesigning your days. Stage 5, stability. My kids get the best of me consistently. Not perfectly, consistently. Okay, we're at the turning point. You've seen the problem and the stages. Now I'm going to show you what actually changed for me and the exact system I designed. This is a practical part. Stay with me and drop a comment right now. Tell me, what's one shared environment you're going to start this week? What changed for me wasn't motivation, it was design. I stopped treating business, health, and family as separate worlds and started overlapping them. Here's what that actually looks like. I call this the three-part present system. Part 1, shared environments. Part 2, business simplification. Part 3, protected boundaries. Let me break down each one. Part 1, shared environments. My kids go to chess, not just for strategy, but because it gives us a reason to sit together. We talk about the games, we analyze positions. Work doesn't intrude there. They do Brazilian Jiu Jitsu, not just for confidence, but because it's something we can grow into together. I'm learning alongside them. Swimming lessons, not just for health, but because I'm in the pool with them. Phones don't fit there. Work doesn't follow. That's deliberate. Plus, for the record, I don't know how to swim, so my son gets to teach me. These aren't extra activities, they are designed presence, environments where distraction isn't an option. Part 2, business simplification. Here's the uncomfortable truth. If your business requires constant mental bandwidth, it's not built for dad life. That doesn't mean quit, it means simplify. One offer, one audience, one channel. Every additional thing you're juggling takes mental space, and mental space is what you need for presence. Less cognitive load creates more emotional availability. I used to hide in complexity, plans, frameworks, qualifications, perfect models. I looked productive, it kept me busy, but it also kept me distant because work is a very convenient place to avoid feeling. Part 3, protect boundaries. Here's the rule I live by now. If my kids only get me when I'm tired, the system is broken. So I design around that, not perfectly, intentionally. 5 to 7 p.m., phone goes in another room. No exceptions, no just checking email. Saturday mornings, family activity, no work discussions. This is when we do chess tournaments or jiu-jitsu practice. Sunday evenings, planning the week together, not just my calendar, we coordinate as a family. So these boundaries weren't natural at first, they felt restrictive. But now, they are the structure that makes everything else possible. Stop chasing balance. Integration wins. Balance is the wrong target. Balance assumes work and family are enemies. They don't have to be. Integration beats balance. Design beats discipline. When your business model supports your life instead of competing with it, presence becomes easier. What kids actually need? Your kids don't need more time. They need predictable access to you. 5 minutes of real attention beats 2 hours of distraction every time. They don't need you perfect. They need you present. And presence is a choice you make in the design, not in the moment. This question changed how I operate. What am I teaching my kids about adulthood by how I live? That stress is normal? That exhaustion equals success? That presence is optional? Or that work has boundaries and people come first? Your kids won't remember your business ideas. They'll remember your tone, your patience, your availability. They'll remember how it felt to be around you. If you want to start today, do 3 things. 1, pick one shared environment. Chess, swimming, reading, jiu-jitsu. Doesn't matter. Schedule it weekly. Protect it. No phone. 2, remove one thing from your business. One product, one channel, one commitment. Less noise equals more presence. 3, create one protected boundary. Pick one time block where work doesn't exist. 5 to 7 p.m., Saturday mornings, whatever fits. Start with 1, protect it ruthlessly. That's it. 3 moves, not 10, 3. This isn't anti-ambition. You can build something meaningful without becoming absent. But you cannot outsource presence. No amount of money buys back missed connection. I love my dad. He did the best he could with what he knew. I'm not angry, I'm aware. And awareness gives you a choice. You can repeat the pattern or redesign it. I chose redesign. And my kids get the best of me now, not what's left. If you're building a business and you don't want to lose your family in the process, try this now.